How's it going, everyone? It is Skullzi here with the latest and the greatest gaming news. Today I want to talk about why the hype for RPG fans like myself should start assuming direct control, because in my opinion, I believe we are entering the best era for RPGs, literally ever. There are many great RPGs on the horizon from many different legendary developers. It's like a showdown at the RPG OK Corral over here, and at the same time, many of these developers are aiming to change the genre forever with new and exciting gameplay innovations. In today's video, I want to break down why I believe we are certainly entering the best era for RPGs ever in gaming's history. Fair warning though, I am probably going to say RPG about 8,000 times in this video, so prepare yourself. Don't start any drinking games based upon how many times I say RPG, that would be unhealthy. Now, while RPGs have had a pretty solid fan base for quite a long time, early on in gaming's history, RPGs weren't nearly as popular as they are now. As time progressed and as gaming technology got far more advanced, RPGs too got far more advanced and ambitious, and this increase in possibility excited developers as many different studios wanted to take their own shots at making an RPG and potentially even changing the scope of the RPG landscape forever. This advance in gaming technology sparked ambition, and that ambition sparked competition, and through that competition we got many great legendary RPG franchises. We got Zelda, Final Fantasy, Baldur's Gate, Fallout, The Elder Scrolls, Dragon Age, Mass Effect, and several others that I could just keep going on and listing. And as RPG technology and possibility increased, so did the quality of the game's writing. Some games even rivaled famous books and movies in terms of the depth and power behind the game's writing and stories. And with all these powers combined, RPGs became a lot more mainstream than they have ever been. In fact, I directly credit Bethesda Game Studios and the Elder Scrolls franchise and Fallout for playing a large part in making RPGs more popular, as Daggerfall, Morrowind, Oblivion, Fallout 3, Skyrim, and even Fallout 4 have been the first RPG to really capture many a player's interest in the genre. And while that particular statement is definitely left up to personal opinion and experience, the fact remains that RPGs got to where they are today because of technological innovation and creative competition sparked from that technology. And we're about to be entering the next level of that very exact vibe, as the PS5 and the Xbox One are ushering in one of the largest leaps in gaming technology yet, opening the doors for yet even more possibilities and goals in gaming as a whole, especially in that RPG genre. In fact, Todd Howard himself said that the technology to create the vision he has in store for The Elder Scrolls 6 didn't exist yet until basically this up-and-coming console generation. And just like the last golden age of RPGs, this new shift in technology has caught the hopes and dreams of many studios, as not only do we have many great RPGs on the horizon over the next few years from many different legendary developers, but at the same time, these games seem to be pushing the boundaries of RPGs even further, potentially forever shaping the future of gaming forever. We have Starfield and eventually The Elder Scrolls 6 from Bethesda Game Studios, both very ambitious games, as Starfield especially has been the dream game Todd Howard has been wanting to make ever since he joined the gaming industry a long time ago. This console generation was the tipping point Bethesda has been waiting for in order to create their next most ambitious RPGs, and Todd Howard even stated that this console generation puts Bethesda Game Studios in a very unique position to pull off some amazing things, and I cannot wait to see what these things will be. Then of course we have Cyberpunk 2077, which isn't essentially a next-gen RPG, but I do consider it the gatekeeper ushering in this next era of gaming and RPGs alike, as it seems to be the last crowning achievement of this generation of gaming, pushing the boundaries of what is possible with current technology. And with that in mind, imagine how amazing a next-gen Witcher game would be, or even a full next-gen focused sequel to Cyberpunk 2077. We haven't even begun to see what CD Projekt Red would do with a full true next-gen RPG, which is pretty amazing to think about. Then we have Avowed, a full-scale open-world RPG from the original creators of the Fallout universe and the Outer Worlds. Avowed appears to be Obsidian's version of The Elder Scrolls and will no doubt directly rival Bethesda Game Studios, as both developers make similar style RPGs, and again, direct and healthy competition like like this only further improves the quality of games we all receive, and Avowed could potentially go head-to-head with The Elder Scrolls 6, which would be an amazing showdown. We also have Fable, a franchise which has been lost in time for many years now, and it took a new golden age of RPGs to essentially bring the franchise back to life and finally get that acorn growing. And then of course we have, that's right, we still aren't finished yet, last but not least, The Wayward Realms. Being developed by Once Lost Games, the new kids on the RPG block, a studio made up of veteran Elder Scrolls developers. Even though the studio is new, the developers within the studio know exactly what they're doing when it comes to making amazing RPGs and massive worlds, and The Wayward Realms is not only a large-scale, open-world, next-gen RPG with a lot of potential, but at the same time it's an RPG that seeks to somewhat reshape the entire genre as a whole, with many ambitious goals that no other RPG has exactly done quite yet. Personally, I am very excited for this game, and if you want to know everything there is to know about The Wayward Realms and Once Lost Games, check the videos on my channel where I go into full detail breaking down everything there is to know so far about this game. And to go a step further, RPGs are even so prevalent now that games which started out as completely other genres have eventually fully adapted so many RPG elements as time went on that the lines began to blur between many different genres. Assassin's Creed is a great example of this, several sports games too, but new Assassin's Creed games are essentially a blend of what early Assassin's Creed games used to be, mixed with a very large dose of RPG elements. Rockstar Games has also adapted some heavy RPG elements within their most recent titles as well, and these are only a couple of the most obvious and largest examples. It seems RPGs are so popular now that people who may not have otherwise ever played a pure RPG has at least played and most likely enjoyed a franchise with elements heavily inspired by RPGs. RPGs are very popular now, and I don't foresee that changing anytime soon, especially when you consider the new golden age of RPGs that we are just now entering. But as you can see, not only do we have what seems to be a massive amount of very ambitious RPGs on the horizon, but at the same time there are multiple legendary developers behind these games. In my opinion, this is a very clear indication that a new boom of innovation and interest for RPGs is occurring right now amongst the community and developers alike. This is truly the beginning of a golden age for RPGs, and dare I say, most likely the best time period role-playing games has likely ever seen to date, and that gets me super hyped. That's it for today's video though. Hopefully I helped build that hype and distracted you a bit from whatever crap you had going on in that IRL. As always though, what I want to know is, what do you think about all of this? Which up-and-coming RPG are you the most hyped for, and why? Be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments below, and if your comment wins the internet, you may get featured in a future video. Be sure to like the video if you enjoy the content, and if you want to stay in the know when it comes to the latest gaming news, hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on so you don't miss the latest uploads. Follow me over on Twitter for other news that doesn't quite make it into my videos, as well as other channel updates, and check for links down in the description below for official Skullzi merchandise, the Skullzi Discord community server, and if you want to have your hand in providing future content, there are links on how to be an exclusive channel member here on YouTube, over on Patreon, or Ko-fi as well. And as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next time when Todd Howard performs the Black Sacrament to give Bethesda Game Studios a much needed edge in the times to come.
It just works.